Hi, and welcome to Lisa Brown, Stamp with Lisa Brown on my Savvy Sunday. Savvy meaning stamping and various inspirations. Today, we're going to focus on the square vellum doilies that are available in the annual catalog. I have a couple of different ways to show you on how to use these. So let's go ahead and get started. I've already pre-done a card base of Misty Moonlight, 8.5 by 5.5, and we scored it at 4.25. And we're going to put down a layer of Whisper White. As you can see, sometimes when I'm using a color as a matte, I like to save paper and die cut things that I need out of that piece of matting. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere that down with my Stamp and Seal. And then we're just going to, oops, let's get that straight. Okay. Next, I came in with another piece of Misty Moonlight, and as you can see, that's covering up what I had die cutted. And we're going to adhere a piece of vellum to the Misty Moonlight. Now, when I'm doing that, you can see my Stamp and Seal on through the vellum, but I'm going to cover that up, so we don't have to worry about that right now. And I have taken the So Sentimental stamp set, and I've used I Can't Thank You Enough right here. And what you saw cut out of that background is the coordinating bundle called Stitch So Sweetly. And this is a great die set for layering words, and everything that is in the stamp set coordinates on here, but you can use it for so much more. So I've already gone ahead and stamped and die cut that out. Now there's project number 1. We can leave it just as simple as that. But the reason I didn't hear that down is because we're going to go ahead and add some Misty Moonlight, just a simple strip of Misty Moonlight ribbon going across there. So before I adhere this all down, we're going to put some adhesive down to hold that piece of ribbon. And we're just going to run it through the center of the card, just giving it a little extra something. Okay, now we can adhere this. Down to our card. And I think we're going to take some dimensionals and we're going to dimensional this down. Using my pick tool to easily remove the adhesive backgrounds off of my dimensionals. I love that little tool. Okay, there's that. If we wanted to add just a little bit more, we can add some rhinestones. Let's see, where do we want those? Let's just add the little ones. I think we're just going to put them around the outside edge here. And we'll do a medium size one right over here, just to add a little bling. Who doesn't like a little bling on their card? Okay, so simple, easy, just layering a doily in the background and having a simple sentiment over top. Okay, on our next card, I'm going to do the opposite. So here I had Misty Moonlight, Whisper White, Misty Moonlight. On this card, we're going to have the opposite. We're going to have Whisper White, Misty Moonlight, and we're going to top it off with a piece of Whisper White. But I want my doily to stand out a little bit on this one. So we're going to sponge brayer it. Now, I'm going to bring in a scrap piece of paper, and I decided that I want to use some masking. So I've brought in, I have an extra piece of Whisper White that's 4 by 5 1/4, and we're going to sponge over that. So I'm going to bring my little handy dandy holding tool here, and we're going to ink up our brayer. And we're going to start sponging. And I'm going to cover this whole piece of Whisper White as I'm sponging on top of my doily. Okay. And your sponge brayers, you can wash this out and let it air dry overnight, and you can use this again on another color. The reds and blues and purples may stain it a little bit, but it's totally fine. Okay, so now I wanted to change the color of my doily. I wanted to make it Misty Moonlight, but in the meantime, I just masked this beautiful card, and we'll come back to this in a minute. Okay, so let me get my scrap paper out of the way. All right, so now we have our Whisper White, our Misty Moonlight, and we're going to top this off with a piece of Whisper White. And here's my doily that I just colored. And I was just trying to decide if I want to do the same thing and add, if I wanted to add ribbon across that before I adhered it down. So let's go ahead. I'll decide in a second. And we're going to adhere down our Whisper White. Adhere down our doily. And why don't we go ahead and use some ribbon? We'll do it just like the other card. Okay, and then we're gonna put this one down also with some dimensionals. And we'll bling this one up as well. Except for this one, I think I'm going to put my rhinestones on here on the tag. So it's opposite colors. And then this one just plain doily. And this one we sponge brayered the doily. Okay. Next card. This is, it is a base layer of basic gray. And we are going to take the doily and we're just going to cut it in half. And we're going to fit it on the sides of our paper. Now it's hanging off. I'm just going to go back and trim that out in a minute. Just getting my position. And then I have a piece of the Prized Peony Designer Series paper. And I want to leave like a little bit of a gray border on the sides. Okay, so we're going to put it, so it's going to go off a little bit. For this one, I just want a little bit of adhesive on the edge. And I'm just going to go in with my liquid glue. And just put it on the edge. Because then I'm going to layer that, lay that DSP over it. And you won't see the glue. Okay. Okay. Press that down. And now I can trim off that excess doilies off the edge. And I'll do the same over here. Okay, now I think we're going to bring in some of the shimmer ribbon that coordinates with that product suite. And we're going to make that our final edging over here. Okay. We're going to stick that down with some glue dots. And with the Prized Peony bundle, there is this beautiful, beautiful stamp set. And I've already gone ahead and stamped and die cut and colored my peony. So that's going to get dimensionaled on there. There's a whole, excuse me, a whole set of dies in here. But there's the framelit that cuts out that peony flower. This is a great bundle as well. So we're going to put some dimensionals on the back of there. And we're going to get a couple of the mini ones and put them over here. Okay, I think maybe one more over here. Good. Okay, I think we're going to add a little bow. I'm going to put a bow right over where our ribbons met, just like that. And we have the elegant faceted gems, and that just will take it up another notch with some bling. I love these faceted gems. They're just so pretty. And I think I want to add some over here, and I want to add the ones with some sparkle to them. So these ones here have a lot of shimmer. Then these are colored and these are clear. Okay. And we'll add one down over here, and we'll add two little ones up here. Okay. All right, if we wanted to add an inside, let's do an inside for this card really quick. I think we're going to do the little peony flower. And we're just going to stamp that in the memento. And we're going to put it in the corner. Okay. My blends are the old olive, light and dark, and the petal pink, light and dark. So let's go ahead and start with old olive on the leaves. There's a lot of detail to the stamp already, which is nice. It helps you with your blends. So we're just going to add just a little bit in there and just kind of blend that out. Okay. And then I'm going to take the petal pink and I'm just going to go over the entire flower. And then I'm going to add a couple of the areas, just some dark shading. Let this center up here a little bit darker. Okay, just to add a little bit of detail. All right, and that's going to be my inside. I'm just going to put a little piece of adhesive on there so I can go back and stamp a sentiment on there. Okay. All right, so here's using the doilies on the edges. All right, for our final card, we're going to go back to our Misty Moonlight piece here, and we're going to bring in Cherish the Season with the Sound of the Season dies. And this is a bundle available in the 2020 August to December mini catalog, aka the holiday catalog. This is a really, really cool set, really cool dies. So these are really deep embossing details to the dies. It's fabulous. It doesn't actually cut. I mean, it kind of almost, I should say, it kind of almost actually cuts, but it just looks like embossing detail. And then I'm going to coordinate it with the ornate layer dies. And these came out in the annual catalog. I do have a YouTube video out there from several months ago where I showed you 8 different ways that you can use the ornate layer dies. So very, very cool die set. So you check that out. Here's the whole entire collection. Okay, so what I've done is, this is, this should be 5.25 by 4 inches. And we're going to mount that on a piece of real red cardstock. So this is for an avid stamper, somebody who is seasoned. And although it's not that hard, it's just adding a lot of dies and dimension and detail. Okay, so we're gonna put that down. Okay. So now this is using that, using those doilies as a mask. I sponge brayered over it, removed it, and then this is what was left on the Whisper White. This is the die that I chose from the ornate layer dies, and I chose to do it in our silver foil, so we're going to go ahead and adhere that down. And then I've already pre-cut or pre-die cut a piece of Whisper White, and this was done using our stitched rectangle dies. And this would be the die that measures, it's about 4 1/8 by 1 3/4. And that layers very nicely right in the middle of this ornate layer die right here. From the Sound of the Season dies, I have cut out multiple of the little fern leaves, and I did that here. And I used shaded spruce for these. And then I die cut some of the bells. I did 3 red bells in real red cardstock. And here is the detail on those bells. I mean, it's just, they just came out really, really beautiful. So I got 3 of those, and then we did 3 of the little mini bells in silver foil, and those 2 have that detail on there. So I'm going to go ahead and put some adhesive and start building the background to my bells here. And we're just going to make some clusters. Oops. Okay, so I just put 2 big sprigs behind there, and then 1 small one. Actually, I think I'm going to put some liquid glue on the back of there. And we're going to put that bell over here. And the same thing. Just layering sprigs of greenery on the back. Okay. All right. And for the last one, same thing. Our center bell, I'm going to pop up, I think, here with a dimensional. Okay. And then I wanted to add a little extra detail. So I'm going to add in 3 little silver bells, all with a little bit of sprig of greenery on them as well. So there is that one. So just showing a little different way. That doily, just adding a little bit of extra texture to the background. So let me get all 4 projects. And I hope you liked my Savi Sunday today. And thank you for joining me. Make sure that you are subscribed to my channel, which is Lisa Brown, Stamp with Lisa Brown. And check out my blog, which is creativecardcloset.com. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.